Well, good morning and welcome back on this sunny Tuesday. Today is November 14th, 2023. We are in Garden Grove, California. Directly behind me, the Crystal Cathedral. This was the idea of Robert Schuller. So directly behind me is the original church that Robert Schuller built. Robert Schuller was born 1926, September 16th, 1926 in Iowa. He was married to Arvila Schuller, 1950, all the way until 2014 when she died. She was the organist for all those years. 64 years they were married together. And when they started out here, he was trying to find the right spot to get a congregation that came out with him of, I believe, under 200 people, but he believed from this area, he wanted to have the doors be able to open up because it was actually a drive-in. So you could come to a drive-in and he would preach to you outside and you would sit in your car. That way, at any time, if you wanted to leave or if you didn't want to see other people, you could just leave. You'd be able to just pull out and go. And he really believed in that, you know? He thought this was good, and instead of being so much into the ministry, well, he was into the ministry, but he did a lot of books on positive thinking, and that's the way that Robert believed. Positive thinking and positive people were stronger than anything, and that would manifest, let's say, to just a better life and a better way of being. So I've never been here. I've always wanted to come by. We're gonna go check it out. Crystal Cathedral, Garden Grove. So before Robert was able to make his way out here, he was in Ohio and he was trying to get a congregation, and I believe it was one of his uncles or a family member that said, "You're going to be a minister." And lo and behold, Robert was. Robert actually advised a lot of the presidents all the way up until Bush Sr., I believe, was the last one. So Clinton and the rest of them, he was the advisor to the presidents of the United States. Peeking over the top there is the Crystal Cathedral that we're going to make our way to, but he was able to get Robert $78 together and come out here and start a church and had the people follow him out here. So we'll get into the Crystal Cathedral a little bit more, but when he came out here, the family's barn and the family's barn and farm burned down. So he decided to start a congregation here, and that's what he did with the drive-in. Now we're in an area of Garden Grove, and Garden Grove kind of overlaps each other like most of these cities that get built up do. And so right next to us is Disneyland, Anaheim, of course, Orange, the city of Orange, and all the other surrounding areas. The architecture here, if you look at this, it's very mid-century modern. I'm not sure who the architect was on this. There's some people in there right now. They got the chairs set up as we make our way down the pathway. But it's almost Palm Springs-ish of the fountains and the windows, the floor-to-ceiling windows that would actually show the water, and it kind of gives a contrast of inside and outside together. Look at that. That is shiny. Making my way around, I thought I'd show you. I just made my way down the pathway. You guys didn't need to sit with that, but hopefully we get to hear the bells go off and check out that staircase. Definitely get your steps in going up that. Not for the faint of heart or out of shape. I'd make it to about there, I believe. I can't believe I've lived here so long and I've yet to come over here. It looks like there's a newer building being built, or that has been built over here. We'll go check that out as well. I have not found the map yet, but this is the forest station. I think you can walk around the gardens and find everything. It says, "Coming Home, the Prodigal Son. A gift of Jody and Dick Parker, Joe and Bob Pond." That's a great piece. Forgive offenses. So the building we saw outside was the Tower of Hope. That's the one with the stairs going all the way up. And I don't think anybody can just take the stairs. Out in the distance, they do have Jesus walking on water. Another great piece. Walk around and get a better shot of that. I thought this was a little better view of giving a straight on view of Jesus walking on water and the bells. And right here is the actual church. And it looks like there are people praying in there. We'll step in the back just not to interfere with anyone and take a look. So I've walked in the back of the church and there's docent tours available here as well. You can just tell the architecture here. We'll take a look inside. I just walked by a few people. And you can come in here and pray at any time. And there's the organ that Robert Schuler's wife would have been playing. So I gotta figure it carries to the outside as well. I do want to be respectful. And I do want to show how calming it is while you're in here. How beautiful it is. It's something to see. It's quite amazing. So that was really cool. I didn't want to talk in there, but the original organ is still there that Arvila would have been playing. And right outside the Tower of Power, they have Moses. This is named God's Way to the Good Life is what the plaque states. And I believe that could be the burning bush, the 10 Commandments, his staff, and his sandals. Amazing piece of art and history. So we've made it out by the gardens, Cathedral Memorial Gardens office. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Have faith in God and faith in me, and I believe it wraps around, but this is what we came here to see, and this is what so many see when they pass. Look at that. That is some sight to see. And here's the Crystal Cathedral itself. Groundbreaking was 1977 and was completed in 1980. I believe it cost about $18 million to complete, which is pretty impressive. And to think that only right down the road, another thing was being built at the same time that opened in 1977, and that was Disneyland. No, not the park, but the new Space Mountain in Tomorrowland. That cost $20 million. It had a ride. It had the roller coaster is the ride. It had a restaurant. It had a sound stage. And it also had, what else did it have? Besides gift shops and everything else that we know, it had one more thing, I believe. Whoa, this is really incredible. Every turn that I make, there's just something else to see. And I don't know what has taken so long for me to come here, but it's well worth it. And if you have the time, or if you're driving by in Anaheim, California, I would say do yourself a favor and stop on by. This is the Memorial Gardens. There's a cemetery here as well. Some beautiful stained glass. That is cool. I guess since I'm here, I better walk down or show as much as I can. Oh yeah, they have family plots here. The Watts family. Corey family. And many others. I don't know how new this is. I gotta figure it hasn't been here, well, since day one. Maybe it has, but I don't see anything establishing it or giving a time like it usually does. But that's your view right there with the sun coming up. So another thing I found out, before Robert Schuller was able to find this place, he looked around, found 10 spots to have his ministry and start a congregation out here in Southern California. 9 of those 10 spots just flat out said no. This was the one where you could have cars come in and have a drive-in as well, and the people, like I said, could sit in their cars and listen to him as he had his ministry and performed his services. I gotta say, it was meant to be by the looks of it. That is something else. With the sun coming up, whether you believe or you have any sort of faith, this place will definitely make you feel it. That is for sure. Pretty amazing. I'm gonna walk over and see if we can go inside now, and I'll tell you a little bit about the panes of glass on here and how people contributed and have their names etched into the glass windows. It's pretty impressive. So this is where Robert Schuller had his weekly, I believe, TV show. I believe it was weekly. It was the Hour of Power. And the Crystal Cathedral is actually made out of 10,000 panels of glass. And for $500, you were able to get your name etched into one of these panels if you donated to get this completed, which is kind of cool. And it looks like there's another place down here below where you can pray. And there's somebody in there right now, and I do not want to bother them. They have the candles. Mary inside as well. I don't want to disturb the person right now because who knows what they're going for or going through at this time. But yeah, I do want to see if we can get inside. Well, 2 of the 3 doors were locked to the Crystal Cathedral that I tried to get in, so they might be busy right now. But here is one more statue of Jesus with the children, and this is called the Smiling Jesus, the Miracle of Loaves and Fishes. These really add to just the feeling all around here. That's the Cathedral Cultural Center and also gift shop. And hopefully we can get in that door. I really want to see where the names are etched, but I walked up on the panels here and I really couldn't see anything. So maybe somebody can help me as I get closer. So we were able to get inside, and actually somebody held the door for me, which was nice. So there's the vesting and south balcony. Let's walk inside and take a peek. So I'm not gonna speak too loud because I'm not sure if people are in here. Wow. Wow, would you look at that? That is just amazing. Holy, look at the horns up there. This thing has to be so awesome. With the sound reverbing off of everything. I do believe I need to come to a service in here. I think everyone should. Especially nowadays, it might be good for everyone to have a little faith. Look at these pipe organs in the pews. That is just something else. Absolutely beautiful. You got
The one thing I would say that's kind of out of place is you got the Jumbotron. But if you want to come over here, light a candle for someone or for yourself, they do have the Virgin Mary. So incredible. Got the sunlight trying to peek through over there. It's massive.
Well, that was just amazing. That was awesome to just walk in there. I highly recommend it. Just breathtaking. Everyone here is so nice, and no matter what's going on in your life, maybe stop by here for a few minutes and give yourself some room to breathe, because it does help. I gotta say, it's very calming in these gardens. So if you need a place to go and you say you don't have one and you're in the area, this place is very welcoming and open. All right, we're gonna make our way back to the car now. Well, that's gonna do it for today from the Crystal Cathedral. I still can't believe I've never been here before. Religious or not, you definitely should stop by, give it a chance, and take a look inside. It's very humbling. Robert Schuller, right on cue. There was a few bells, but Robert Schuller should be proud of everything he created. What an amazing, amazing thing, and just to go for as long as he did, and with the kindness in his heart, just be a positive thinker for yourself, and that'll benefit others. Really, really beautiful. To him and his wife, Arvila, who spent so many years here, and people just enjoying it, of all ethnicities and all religions that come here. It's really an incredible thing. So I'm glad to have finally been here, and I hope to see you next time. Please consider subscribing. And if you have subscribed, thank you. And if you've just watched the video, thank you as well. And I'll see you next time.